Yo, bartender.
Bar's closed.
Hey, yo, bartender, what's good, man? Let me get a drink, man. Let me get a shot.
Hey, man, I know you just pulled up to the bar, but we closed.
Come on, man. You gotta be able to give me a shot, man. Come on.
You look like you need a drink, man, but I hate to tell you this, man. We about to close.
So you mean to tell me all these people out here, they got drinks and they got shots, but I can't get nothing. The bar closed that soon?
Okay, man, I don't know what else to say. I got this shorty, half my age, at the crib, and I'm trying to get to her. But last call was 10 minutes ago.
You know what? It's alright. Don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it.
All right. Tell you what, I'm gonna get you one drink, cause it look like you need
one drink. I can do one drink. I can do one drink, cause I really yeah.
Hey, man, anything, man. Look like you got a lot on your mind and you need a friend right now. Pour it on me. Ain't no last calls here.
Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome to Bar Talk with Jay.
Welcome.
One of the things I want to brought to you by is Camo Dumpsters. It was a great thing I'm doing up there in Tennessee, and I'm always telling you about it, but I'm going to tell you all day long. One of the reasons I'm so proud of it is not just because the fact I'm involved with it, it's the crew I got.
Yes.
I got a crew that's willing to do any and everything to service you guys in a way that I'm telling you is going to be game-changing. Reason why is because one of the game changers is me. I've been in this industry for a long time, and one of the things I say is customer service needs to be re-looked at.
Yes.
I don't think everybody look at it the same no more, and I really feel like I need you. So I need to show you I can serve you in a better way to get that product done, and you ain't got to talk to no one else.
Yes.
And that's what we do over there at Camo Dumpsters. So come look us up. Give us a chance. We're up in Tennessee, but I'll be right next to you soon. Camo Dumpsters. All right, now I got to get back to the ones that's sitting with me right now. This brother right here, right next to me, been rocking with me over 6 years. He's been doing great things on his own, Minecraft and other things, but I tell you what, he always come up in here with a smile. Craftmatic, how you doing tonight, big baby?
Doing fabulous, Jay.
Oh,
As per usual.
Got that smile.
As per usual, doing well, man. Doing well.
I like it.
Everything's lovely, man. I'm grinding, getting my grind on. It's a beautiful year. We're about to end the first quarter of 2023. We just got started. We just celebrated New Year's, right?
Moving fast, bro.
Yeah. Happy to introduce our guest tonight.
Yes.
We got DJ Too High in the spot tonight. How you doing, brother?
What's up? I'm new to this, so y'all gotta work with me on this, but I'm happy to be here.
Absolutely.
I want to breathe with y'all, learn from y'all,
Okay.
and inspire myself to get to another level.
Okay,
right.
Let's see if we can make that happen then.
Okay.
Let's see if we can make that happen. How you doing tonight, Smooth Jack?
Man, let me tell you, man, this whole voyage out to Tennessee has really made me be more humble. Sometimes you got to change your environment.
Yes.
And I wasn't looking for that at the time. It was just a challenge. Then you got to learn to adapt.
Right.
Now that one right there is going to be one that you got to look into, and it's going to be on you. If that's what you choose to do. I don't think it's recommended for everyone, but to adapt, the environment change makes me feel different in a positive way.
Yes.
I like to say it gave me motivating juices.
I like to hear that. Change will absolutely put a fire in you to get things done in life. And I think that's a great way to introduce our show. This is Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth Jay. We have DJ Too High in the house tonight.
What's up, y'all?
And of course, we are here to liberate your minds and souls with a fantastic dialogue.
Yes.
Tonight we're going to talk about the word turmoil. And as we talk about this word, we want you to simmer in it. We want you to understand it in such a way that it causes you to do something different, to be something different,
right.
to say something different,
Right.
that we're trying to promote change inside the individual. And the way you do that is by discussing something and then making some decisions. And so we want you to make clear, powerful decisions about how you're going to deal with the turmoil that's in your life.
Right.
And perhaps when it comes, if turmoil ever comes your way, you'll have some bricks in your armor.
I like that.
In order to overcome it. So we want to thank you folks for being here with us tonight. We always start the show off with a prayer. And Jay, did you want to pray for us tonight?
Man, go ahead, let them have it. Let them have it.
Okay.
Gotta take the hat off.
All day.
Yeah, gotta take your hat off. Yeah. Any topic for a prayer?
If you ain't got one, can I suggest one?
Yeah, please.
I want to suggest one for somebody that's trying like they hit a brick wall and everybody down on you for decisions you made, but you trying to make it.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
Let's do that.
I like that.
Heavenly Father,
Yes.
we just come into your presence right now, just thanking you for all that you are in our life.
Yes.
You are our strength. You are our helper. You are our boss. You are our leader. You are our guide, our just everything in life. And we just want to give you all the praises right now. We thank you, Heavenly Father, tonight for helping those people who are going through a challenging situation. Right now, Father, they don't know what to think. They don't know what to do. They are stuck and they are being challenged by all the people around them. They're being told that they didn't do right and that they're bad people and that they always make mistakes and that they're not this and not that. We're asking, Heavenly Father, that you would strengthen this person in a very special and powerful way tonight. Give them the strength to protect themselves. Give them the strength to say no. Give them the strength to drive forward. Give them the strength to overcome the naysayers and the haters. We're asking, Father, that you would liberate them so that they can drive forward in their lives, numb to the ridicule and the nonsense of the people around them. Encourage them and give them faith and hope. Give them an opportunity, Father, that their enemies might see them through a major come up and maybe even start to feel sad because they're no longer on this person's team. We're asking, Father, just for a supernatural blessing over people in challenging situations, that you would give us wisdom and strength here in this show tonight to do your good and perfect work. We thank you in Jesus' name. Amen.
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 Ooh, that was
Can we
nice.
say it again?
Man, that's powerful.
Amen again.
Amen. Amen. And, what I always like to point out in the moments of prayer, because I do these prayers, kind of off the top of my head, but what I'm doing as I'm praying is I'm reaching for ideas that mean wholeness, right?
Yes.
I'm reaching that this person would be protected, and that this person would be prospered, and that this person would have strength, and that this person would have courage and confidence. And I'm encouraging you all to do that in your prayer life, right? You have to reach for the things that you want in mind before it can become a reality. And when you hand it over to the Lord, you got to hand it to him specifically as you can.
Right.
Don't tell him how to do his job, but tell him what you want. Right? And if you will do that, you will find that he will come to your rescue quickly. And he will bring answers, and he will bring solutions, and he will bring healing inside of you, and he will remove, structures that shouldn't be there. He'll, blow your mountains away, so to speak,
Like that.
if you put it in his hands. And so, we have to live a prayerful life. And, it doesn't matter how you pray or who you pray to. If you are praying, then you are reaching forward in life, because prayer is all about reaching forward.
Right.
And so I encourage you to do more of it. You have more control over your life than you have been using, and you have more control over your life than you have ever known possible. But you will not access it until you learn how to pray.
Yes.
Now, let's jump into our topic for tonight.
Okay.
Let's get it.
We're talking about the word turmoil tonight. Now, in most cases, this show is wrapped around a particular subject, a particular topic. We're going in a specific direction. What we are attempting to do now is to open the dialogue up to hear what concerns you as it relates to the word at hand. Tonight's word is turmoil. And so, Jay, what's the first thing that comes to your mind? I'm bringing turmoil. What hits you with the word turmoil?
Man, let me tell you, life.
Life, okay.
Like right now, if you look at the state that we're in, we don't know if we're going to war. We're hearing banks looking at collapse. We're looking at changing money over to maybe digital currency. We're looking at a lot. And a lot of times, when you got something like this, everybody throw their own opinions in there, and it becomes chaotic. The end of the world, the mark of the beast. They want to go religious. They want to go personal. And I really feel like at times like this, it launches fears, but we need to be more focused.
Okay.
I can't change everything. And there's going to be somebody out there controlling some things I can't.
Right.
What I can do is look better at what my finances is and where I'm at and position myself.
Right.
Something is coming. Are you prepared? Are you building up for it? Or are you just waiting on it to run you over and be on the backside when I see everybody else strategizing to be on the front side.
Right.
And I really feel like in that turmoil, it's not always a bad. There's just some things that's just being challenged, and you got to look at it as a challenge and look at it differently. So it's not really turmoil to me. It's turmoil to everybody else. And also, turmoil would be like in a relationship. And things are starting to come at you, and it's taken away from your happiness. And I like to say those kind of turmoils come from even yourself. Because I really say a lot of it stems from you. And you allowing things to get you out of balance. Okay? And we have to balance this ship. If you are a man, you're a king, you are head of your ship. And when you let too much cargo get on, it can put you out of balance. And that's going to be really rough going down the way. Okay? And it will affect your drive. And the turmoil happen all with you, not really paying attention to what you're doing.
Right.
And at that point, I caused it, but I can also fix it.
Right.
So it's not a lifetime if you can correct. And you need to see it before it all unfolds. So you got to be more open-minded. A lot of times, things are happening because you're trying to please somebody. Okay? And pleasing them can make you very unhappy.
Right.
Now, even in marriages and committed relationships and the rest, you still have to have a balance and an understanding and good communication.
Right.
Because without all these things, that's how unbalance happens. Because they put more on you because they feel like, they can.
Okay.
What you got to understand is you have to be that man to understand that cargo has to be centered. Okay? And then have to balance some of the other stuff that we do, or we're not going to make it to our destination. And I really feel like a lot of times we don't always want to look at it because we're too busy pleasing. Okay? I have a vision too. You can't be losing yours for everybody else's. It'll never get achieved. Yeah. And that's going to be turmoil to you because you're going to sit back and be like, I'm nowhere near on course. I am running amok. I'm about to hit shore because I wasn't even looking no more where we was going. I was too busy doing this for you and doing this for, and nothing was accomplished for my destiny. And that's turmoil to me. Because now I have to make decisions. And I'm going to tell you, it's going to be tough.
Yes.
But you're going to have to make them. And you're going to have to make them to the ones you love sometimes.
Yeah.
You got to tell them, I can't do it.
Mm-hmm.
They're going to be like, why? You do it for this, you do it. Any excuse they come with, you got to be firm on your own.
Yeah.
Because I can't continue to let you run me ashore. Because you don't see the bigger picture. You see self.
Right.
Okay? You can call them selfish, entitled, you can call them whatever you want. But the bottom line, they're guiding your ship. They're flipping your switches.
Right.
So you call yourself a person of purpose. But I like to say, look at your purpose. Because if it's not going where you really want it to, I like to tell you, no different from you, even myself. I ran ashore, not paying attention because I was too busy trying to please. But then when I hit ashore, they got off of me and got on with someone else. And I'm stuck with getting it off.
Right.
Okay? So if you don't want to run amok, be stuck, then understand that sometimes you have to look at what the situation is as it occurs. Right. Instead of looking at it as, I'm just pleasing, I'm making everybody happy. You're not. And that's why a lot of people say they die alone. Because you trying to please so many people that you're not heard. You're not shown. And then you look at it as disrespect that you allowed. That's a dark place to be. I wouldn't want nobody to be there and make the decisions on the upfront. I've heard people respect me and say, hey, you know something? You can't blame a person for trying. So it's like it's a game. But you better recognize it. Because it can get played on you. And it ain't just your loved one. It could be your business. It could be different things. And these are turmoils that happen that you can look at it in a different way.
Yeah.
So I don't want it to keep it on the negative.
Yeah.
I want to be on the positive and keep the turmoils. And some things, again, you can't control. You can't control someone else. The best person I control is myself.
Absolutely.
And my decision making on what I'm allowing in.
Right.
I learned a long time ago dealing with people. They told me I have a small circle. I can't let everybody in.
Right.
And I'm like, man, I'm trying to do talk radio. I'm trying to let everybody in. Then I realized half the people in there ain't for me. Now again, they don't even follow me. I get more follows from new people I meet than the people that said that they were rolling with me. You gotta realize everybody ain't for you. And your fan club that you think you got,
they said
ain't your fan club.
They said Jesus could not perform miracles in his hometown. Sometimes those people are too close to be able to see your gifts.
Remember I told you somebody gotta move where you at, your environment.
What gets me though, I would go try to comment, but everything that you said is what I want to comment on.
And listen, and we gonna
I'm trying to make it
and
easy
Jay
for you.
moves 1,000 miles an hour. We're gonna slow it down. If you
No. What I'm saying, what he get at is what I wanna. What's on my mind? What's bothering me? I'm just talking about me. What's bothering me?
Okay.
I love you saying your prayer. I love that.
Mhm.
And then when your comments, it's like what I'm going through right now.
Mhm.
I'm trying to make you happy. I'm trying to do this for you. I'm trying to do for you, but I ain't gonna use that word. I'm sorry.
It's okay.
Go ahead.
No,
Soften it up. Soften it up. Go ahead.
I'll soften it up, but y'all know what I'm trying to say.
Well, I do.
But I'm doing all this to make you happy. I work 12, 13 hours a day.
Mm-hmm.
I come home, I cook. You might eat, you might not. Now you ticking me off because I don't spend my money
Right.
on cooking. But at the same time, I mean, turmoil, to me, it
Into the mic. Into the
it
mic.
might go a couple of different ways, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm trying to please you,
Right.
but I'm miserable.
Mm.
Okay. Let's define turmoil for a moment. Okay. A state of great disturbance, confusion, or uncertainty. Okay? A state of great disturbance, confusion, and uncertainty.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I think the first and most important point for all of us to understand is to recognize when we're going through turmoil.
Right.
If you are in the middle of turmoil and you don't recognize it, you are probably bouncing off the walls.
Correct.
You're probably really stressed. You're probably full of anxiety. You have not recognized the state of your affairs.
Mm-hmm.
And if you are in a great disturbance, there is a way you need to behave. Just like if you're in a, if your back's against the wall, there's a certain way you got to behave when your back's against the wall, right? There's a certain way you got to behave when you have many options. There's a certain way you have to behave when the times are full of turmoil,
Right.
right? And so let's all recognize, if there is, and when there has been a turmoil, did it stress you out for too long before you recognized that it was turmoil? Because here's the point I want to make.
Mm-hmm.
When you recognize this turmoil, you are in that very moment deciding that this is something that you don't want anymore.
Correct.
It is important to make a conscious decision that I don't want this anymore. You don't know how to fix it, but you got to say, hey, you know what? I have had enough. And there are a lot of people who will just kind of go through turmoil like, okay, this is for me. This is what I'm supposed to take. This is how life's supposed to be. And so it's not, right?
Correct.
We're not supposed to live in turmoil. But I want to break it down for us just a little bit, Jay. And then I want to recap everything you said because you said so many things that are imperative to this conversation.
Okay.
When turmoil happens, one has to ask, is this an inside job or is this an outside job?
Correct.
Right? Is my turmoil being created by what somebody else is doing? Or is my turmoil being created by my inability to say no? By my inability to put a stop to it? Am I feeling powerless right now because the thing out there that I'm considering turmoil is controlling me? It's manipulating me? It's requiring more of me than I want to put in? Is that why it's turmoil, right?
Right.
So, is it an inside job? Is it an outside job? Questions we need to ask ourselves. Because if it's an inside job, that means you can control how you feel about the condition that you are in.
Correct.
You can control the turmoil. You can control how you feel about the turmoil. You can control how you manage the turmoil. If it's from the outside, then you're going to have to find a way to put up your defenses,
Correct.
or you're going to have to get some offense going to get it off of you,
Well, I like that.
right?
I like it.
And, when I think about turmoil, I think about, like, the definition, I think of confusion. Okay, I do not operate at all in confusion,
Okay.
right? Immediately when confusion starts, if I'm in a discussion with 3 or 4 people, and 3 or 4 people start to talk in that discussion, whoa, I can't hear but one of you at a time. Everybody's going to get a turn, you know what I mean? And so at the moment of turmoil, I begin to
Laser focus. Change your way of thinking and mind.
I got focused on that. Hey, this is not going to work.
Right.
Let me get organization, right? Here's some of the things that Jay said, and you guys can chime in where you want, right?
Okay.
All right.
Jay said that when turmoil exists, that it launches fears. you can recognize that it's turmoil because you start to get, your heart starts pumping real fast, so you get your stomach drops. You know how your stomach drops when something's
Oh yeah.
upsetting you. And so a couple other things.
Let me talk on.
At the moment of turmoil, we need a strategy.
Okay. But let me talk on the fear.
You introduced it. Go ahead.
Yeah. The fear one comes from a lot of times of you knowing it's not necessarily going to be something that you like. I don't know where the world going. I don't want war. So you have a fear of going to war.
And the fear is the unknown, right?
Right. And then you don't have a real way of controlling what's going to happen because it's on a bigger platform. So you have a natural fear now. You can let that fear kind of consume you and get you off task. So now you listening to the radio, you listen to the TV, you're not getting nothing done.
And listen, what I'm hearing is that this thing we call fear, which is not real, right?
It is.
It's an inside job.
Mm-hmm.
And immediately when fear comes, what do we fear? We fear the unknown.
Correct.
Right? And so at that moment, I think it's time, if you're going through something really big and you really can't figure out, like we are going through here in life right now,
Yes.
that's when I go to God.
Okay.
Right? With my fears, I say, Lord, you know what? I'm not going to run around for the next 10, 15, 20 years afraid to touch things and afraid to go to the restaurant, afraid to go to the shopping center, afraid to be around people. So Lord, I just ask that you would just put a protection on me. I'm just going to walk my way. If there's some stuff over there I don't need to get into, send me this direction. And if there's some stuff over there, send me this direction. And just keep the Lord under my path. That removes my fears. That relieves my fears. You're not going to progress if you don't deal with the fear.
There you go.
Right? If you don't deal with the fear. And again, the fear is about the unknown. You're not going to know what you don't know. Right? You're not going to know what you don't know. So now I need God because hey, I can't control what's going to happen.
Right.
Let me go get some strength in Him. Right? Turmoil
in relationships. It's a fear there too. I'm afraid that she might not like what I got to say. She might leave. That's a fear. My whole thing is there have to be an understanding as well. You shouldn't be fearing the worst. You should have a better understanding of where you at. And that's another turmoil that you put yourself in because you're not trying to control it. You're letting it consume you because it's being more pressure, and then you're not making a decision. I want to make sure sometimes we get out of the fear and make the decision. Sometimes we have to sit down and have that rough conversation that will lead a person to a better destination.
Listen, that's how you overcome the fear, is to make the decision.
Okay, what about when you try to make the decision and try to sit down and talk and you're almost scared to bring the situation up?
There you go. I like that.
You're almost scared to bring the situation up. But they always say a stupid question is a question you don't ask.
I agree.
But at the same time, I want to answer, but I'm kind of scared to ask that question.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, what are you scared of?
There you go.
What are you afraid of in that situation? In your situation right now, be a short answer. What are you afraid of?
Well, I mean, right now I try to do what I can to look out for you and all that.
No, you gonna get in trouble?
No, I'm not gonna get in trouble. I mean,
Right,
what's really going on? I mean, I guess I'm afraid sometimes of the answer.
You're afraid of the answer.
Yes.
Are you afraid that the answer is gonna hurt your feelings? Or are you afraid that? Let me ask. See, I understand a little bit about this situation, and I'm just gonna talk. You tell me if I'm wrong here, right?
Oh yeah, go for it.
Because we've all been in situations like this, right? Yeah, he's registering. He's registering fine. You gotta make sure you're talking to Mike, okay?
Okay.
All right. So,
what I'm getting at is, all right. I put it like this.
Mm-hmm.
I am the only child.
Right.
So my dad was gone, so I was raised by my mom.
Right.
And my mom worked umpteen hours and hours a day, so I pretty much was raised by myself.
Okay.
So my communication skill is low.
It's fine.
And then when I talk a little bit or whatever, I have a hard time trying to say what I got to say. But if you don't grasp what I'm saying, I shut you out, I back off, I go.
Okay.
and I'm hearing that happens a lot in relationships.
It does.
You nailing it with this Mr. Too High. Here's the thing: we're in relationships,
Mm-hmm.
and things will come up that we don't like. things will come up that aggravate us, that gnaw on us, that create turmoil in our lives. Right? And we know exactly what that thing is, but when we bring it to our significant other, that the significant other has a way of blowing up so that it begins to create more turmoil. And so now, when I try to address my issue, my addressing it causes more turmoil.
But see, and miss, when they come that way, instead of addressing it, I'm more trying to defend myself. Like, why you coming at me like that?
Right. And so, like, you know, here's the thing. So you're afraid of what I ain't afraid. Not afraid. You fear conflict.
There you go.
But I'm like, you are really like right there.
So here's the thing. You're gonna have to do one or two things. And maybe there's a third answer. But you're gonna have to speak up, or you're gonna have to be quiet. Which one you gonna do?
Oh, well, when I speak up, then you sit there and don't say nothing. I'm like, okay, you can't hear me talking.
Okay. Now listen, let's all go there. Let's all go there with this. This is good.
Okay.
This is good because we've all been to that place in our relationships, right?
But see, only thing about this relationship, I'm trying to make it work.
Watch this.
We understand.
You have tried over and over and over and over again with the same conversation, the same issue. This fear has been going on. You've had it 100 times a year for the last 10 years. 2 years, whatever that is. Right. So now the fear really has already turned. The fear is not about, you already know what the answer is they're going to give you. You already know how they're going to respond. So the fear is basically that you done run out of options and you are battling within yourself about this issue. Because you can't battle with them about it anymore.
You know that.
You bring somebody an issue a half a dozen times, the 7th, 8th time, they'll be like, why you bitching about that? Why you still talking about that? That means you didn't get through and you're not going to get through. So now, if you're not going to get through, the only thing you can change is yourself.
It's you.
Now, let me ask you a question. How could you change? What could you do differently? If you were sending her a message that you are not going to deal with this turmoil, what would you do? You just fade away and like be quiet?
Pack up and leave.
No.
Well, listen, I don't want your relationship to be ended behind the bar talk show.
And I will tell you, Jay's done that several different times. But I'm gonna tell you, before you pack up and leave, because a lot of times you have an investment. Okay, you with a person you invested. I don't like seeing my investment go away. Right. All right? Because then at that, I'm losing a lot of my own time and my worth. And I like to say I value her opinion as well. You
don't lose your time. I'm sorry. I ain't say you. Me.
Right.
I don't lose time. I don't lose wealth. I mean, if I lose money, I lose money. I lose her, I lose her. But if I can lose her and walk out this daggum door and smile, I'm happy.
Now, I'm going to tell you that.
You just lost your turmoil. Listen, you got your turmoil was based upon you or her. Who are you going to choose?
Take a guess.
See,
listen, that's good stuff. That's good stuff, right?
But I mean,
because when we all
I'm just trying to be 100% serious.
Yeah, and you are.
I mean, sometimes that's how I feel. Now, do I love her? Yeah, love her.
Of course, love her to death.
I don't left her 900 times and then went no farther than the couch to the front door.
Yeah. You love her to death. Now watch this. Watch this. You bring up something else that's real important. We love people so hard. How long are we willing to live in turmoil because of love? How long are you willing to be in a relationship that you are unhappy in, that there is turmoil constantly? It's like you get over it 1 month, you're back into the next month. We was just arguing the other day. I mean, God damn, you bring that up. That's 2 years ago. Like, how long do you, because of love, how long do you allow yourself to be miserable?
See, that same part I'm talking about, just packing up, walking out the damn door.
But if you pack up and walk out the door, you leave your loved one.
Okay.
So is it a turmoil? Is she worthy of the turmoil? Is she no longer worthy of the turmoil?
That's a good question, but I'm worthy to be happy. I'm worthy to lay down on my bed at night and ain't everybody throwing no hot grits on me, no hot balls on me.
If you got to worry about that shit, get out of there.
I want to lay down that night and be happy.
Okay, and a lot of nights you don't lay down and be happy because you're filled with turmoil.
I just get in my truck and leave.
Okay. Watch this. Let's keep moving.
Okay.
Sometimes turmoil will cause us to lose our happiness,
Correct.
and it'll cause us to not be balanced. Okay, and that's directly from Jay. It affects you, right? And if it affects you so bad that you can't be your whole self, then you gotta go.
Right.
If it affects you so bad that you can't, if you got a job that stresses you out so much that you can't hardly sleep at night, it's time to go. It's time to go find a new opportunity. It's time, because it's called saving yourself. You got to save yourself because you're dying in those situations. Literally dying, right? Now, in those situations, you also have to be open-minded.
There you go.
Right? And that comes straight from Jay's mouth. You have to be open-minded in these situations.
He
right?
was right there to me.
I know.
Because open-minded just suggests that potentially that you're part of the cause.
Yeah, it is.
We got to own our stuff, right? And somebody else might be the cause. Watch this. This is what happens all the time.
Okay.
Somebody else might be the cause of your turmoil, but you realize from a mature standpoint, from a love standpoint, that they're never going to change. But they don't mean any harm. It's still, they're never going to change, but it doesn't mean any harm. But that might mean
say that one more time.
like you.
No, they ain't never gonna change.
Yeah, they're never going to change, and nothing you can do about that.
Okay.
But you might stay there and love them and deal with that shit, because now you have this realization that, you know what, she's fusses. That's just who she is. She don't mean no harm, right? I shouldn't have been doing this, that, and the other.
Yeah, come on.
That's so fun. One of the things I can tell you is, like, right now in Tennessee, I have a controller that comes down. And everybody know in business, high level, your controller controls all the numbers. All right? You work with her closely as all get out. The one good thing about her, she's good about what she do. Now, I have to deal with her on the numbers standpoint, so it caused me a lot of turmoil. Why? She's finding stuff that I didn't know. Now, again, it makes me feel uncertain and feared because I'm having to deal with something that I'm not used to. Now, let me also say, you have to be open-minded to realize some things have to change.
Some things got to change.
And that's what she's trying to do. She don't know how to teach me. She just knows what she's good at. So she's going to come with some issues, and she's looking for us to come up with some solutions. But you will be the fear of all the information, shut down, and stop making decisions. That's not what she needs. She needs you to be the decision maker that you are, because you're in that position.
Right.
So you have to man up and not look at it as fear and look at it as an opportunity to shine. Now that's where I say you turn that turmoil around.
Right.
Because now she knows she can deal with a person that's going to handle some stuff.
Yeah.
But they come at you as a whirlwind. And I'm not going to lie, I had that stress of realizing how she come at me, how I deal with it, and I had to take the personal out of it. So I had to get back and get back to the facts. She's coming with facts, and then I take it personal because I look at it personally as I'm failing. She's trying to look at me as, no, you have to be more resourceful. You got to know how to use your people. Y'all need to come back together. She can see the weakness in the armor. So she's just throwing little pot shots at it, and I'm like, oh, hold on, I'm taking offense.
So it's like take the shots and absorb the shots and realize how to deal with the shots and to make it better.
Because I got weak armor,
and
she's showing me how easy it is to make mistakes. And I'm like, back up.
Let me summarize this. Jay, these are exactly what Jay said, right? When you're going through turmoil, especially in a relationship, try as much as you can to take the personal out of it. In business, whatever, take the personal out of it. Take the personal out of it and say to yourself exactly what Jay said. Some things are going to have to change here. Let me be open-minded.
Yes.
Right? That's a great way to deal with the turmoil, is because now I can be open to answers that I may have been closed-minded to. You know, when you get mad and you get upset about things, your vision is this narrow.
Oh, yes.
Oh, no, mine like that.
Everybody's is. Everybody gets real small.
All of you get.
Oh, no, I say it like that.
In turmoil, right? And so now we're going to have to find a way in the middle of turmoil to open ourselves up.
Hey, Jay, I like the way you came back.
Right.
I don't know if you were talking about me or not, but
No.
I like the way you came back. Cause
I bring it for anybody listening.
Yeah, but what I'm saying, you hit a good spot. So I do I do appreciate that, brother. You talking to me or the audience, but
Yeah.
Because that's what this show does.
you came back real good.
Yeah, and let me tell you another thing, Jay said. We're just piggybacking off of you because you said all this stuff in the first dialogue. One of the ways to be open-minded is to see the bigger picture.
Correct.
Right? If I can get this right, I can salvage what's here.
That is correct.
If I can get this right, I can get out of this nonsense. If I can get this right, I can move on with my life. If I can get this right, everything will go smooth. Right? See the bigger picture. What's in it?
Hold on, let me have
Constructive criticism is extremely important when you're in the middle of turmoil.
Well, you come on, I'll come back with you.
Because you said this one, and it's a great one, but I did this in a relationship recently where I had a vision and she had a vision with me. And then all of a sudden, in our vision, things start happening, and then it didn't go how we wanted it to, okay? Call it turmoil, disagreement, whatever.
Confusion.
We took a break. We came right back, and we didn't try to start all over. We tried to start from where we were in a different way. Because some things we wasn't happy with and we didn't discuss. Even though we wasn't happy and we started to discuss things then, I start seeing still some animosity in conversations, and this person wanted more consistency, okay? Now, with me, I can only be so consistent because I also got to be understanding of all what's going on, not just your comfort level. Her comfort level has to also match mine. She gave it all to me, and she thought I can make it all. I had to make her number one, and I make the Lord number one.
Right.
I have to please me as well as you.
Right.
And when you make me feel like I got to put you in front of my God, I will make a decision.
Yes.
And I will make the hardest decision in life. And I made it recently, and I let that person know we cannot keep going. All right? I'm not going to lose myself to please anyone but him.
Yes.
And it's not to disrespect her. I think she's a great woman, okay? But there's going to be some times that you're going to have to make some decisions. And when she kept coming at me, I felt like that's why she kept coming at me. She wanted me to make the decision. So guess what? I made a decision. It wasn't even one she liked, but it's one she's going to live with because that's what I do.
Right.
As a man, we have to stand on something.
You said that so well, Jay. I'm not going to lose myself for anything.
Yep.
And you folks who are being bombarded from outside stuff, that's the decision you got to make. How much of yourself are you going to lose for this thing or for this person? You got to determine at some point, is it worth it? You know, what is worth it, and is it worth it? You know, the last couple of things, we only got about 5 minutes before we close out.
Okay.
I just want to introduce the idea that if you're in the midst of turmoil,
Okay.
and you have recognized that it's time to make a decision, I want you to make a full-fledged decision. I want you to decide that you're going to fix it, you're going to get out of it, you're through with it, you're going to be patient a little more long. Okay, you know what? I'm really fed up, but I'm going to be patient another 6 months. Decide 6 months and go ahead and stay in there for 6 months. Now, when you get to the 6 month point, you might be truly out. But don't make a half-assed decision about dealing with turmoil. You see, a smoldering fire is as hot as a burning flame, right? So you got to put the fire out. Right. If you don't put the fire out, it's going to rekindle and keep burning things up. Put the fire out. Whatever the confusion is, whatever the turmoil is, put it out right now. Okay? Right. And you know, this is a mindset that I think everyone is making, a decision that everyone is making all the time, right? If you're a spouse and you feel like your spouse is cheating on you, right? You know, you dealt with it and you kind of seen things and you've been questioning and you've been wondering and you just, you can see the difference in the behaviors and the late nights and all kinds of stuff. At a certain point, you decide that, you know what? I'm done with this crap. Period. So what I'm going to do before I get out, let me get my facts together. Right. And so if my facts is wrong, I'll go ahead and hang in there. But if my facts is right, let me go ahead and start putting a plan in place to get me a new crib, maybe a new husband, a woman, a boyfriend, or a lover, something to help me get out of this mess right here. I had to make a clear and cut decision in that, and that's what I want everybody to hear. Don't fumble around with it, because it's gonna steal your life.
I agree.
It's gonna steal life away from you. You know what I mean? So, what do you say? I don't know. As we close here, Jay, we got about 3 minutes.
Again, one of the things I told you about how my controller came in is she came in with a lot of facts and the things that she wanted to see change.
Right.
I'm gonna put that same thing in a relationship. In relationships, a lot of times your significant other does the same thing to you, and it could look like it's an attack, but that's her method of communicating. So you got to know her, and you got to be more understanding to make sure you listen, because a lot of times we get in our feelings and we stop listening, and they're not trying to run us astray. She's actually trying to warn us.
She's trying to help you.
So a lot of times, and again, I gotta check my ego.
Jay.
You know that. You know how I feel about life.
She's trying to warn you.
Yes.
So watch this. And I think this is a great way for us to close out. If you're in the midst of turmoil of any sort, God is speaking to you. He is telling you that it's time to move. He's telling you that it's time to stand up for yourself. He might be telling you it's time to shut down and go use your energy elsewhere where it can better be used. But turmoil is a sign. Turmoil is nothing more than a storm. When you're in the midst of the storm is guiding you and leading you and telling you. Sometimes you can see the storm coming. Sometimes you can sense the turmoil coming. Sometimes you can see it from a mile away and you run the other direction. Right? But when there's chaos and turmoil, I'm always of the notion in life that if anything is not in harmonious fashion, something is wrong. If it's not if it's not harmony, then there's some enemy in the midst. And so it's time to deal with the enemy in the midst, because I believe that things should be harmonious. And when they're not harmonious, that's a sign for all of us to take note. Do something, say something, act a different way, take some action, etc., etc. Sometimes God uses turmoil to get us off of our behinds. Don't let life treat you like that. Don't let the Lord have to always put turmoil and storms in your life to get you to move and to change and to be open-minded and to want to fix something in life. You should want to do those things before the storm. You should prepare for the turmoil. You should prepare for confusion. If nothing more, then prepare your mind. Today, if any confusion happens, I want to be strong. I'm going to stand up. I'm going to be bold. I'm going to be firm. I'm going to be confident. I'm going to be decisive. And I'm going to get out of it easily and quickly. I rebuke turmoil. I rebuke confusion. I rebuke misunderstandings. I am always in harmony, and everyone and anyone who is in my world is filled with the same harmony. If they are not filled with that harmony, then they must go, and I'll have no problem letting them go. Let them be who they are, where they get, when they get to where they're going. But they won't be that here. Right? So don't let the Lord use confusion and turmoil to get you to move to your destiny. Your destiny is waiting for you, and in the midst of those storms, sometimes we have to be deciding the big things, like, I gotta go before this thing kill me. I gotta go before this thing run me out of money. I gotta go before these people get on my last nerves. I gotta go before I get myself in some trouble. It's okay to do that. Make the decision and get out.
That's correct. And one of the things I'll tell you in that, sometimes you got to check your ego. Please understand, you stand firm, but your ego can take you in a direction that you don't even need to be. Because again, you don't like these fears. So you put out the hardest shell of you can. I get that. But sometimes you got to make sure you in alignment with yourself when these things come. Because remember, like my controller, she's coming with facts. So I got to get out my feelings.
Are you going to control, or are you going to be controlled? Go ahead.
There you go.
Well, I want to sit down and make it that we gonna be together.
Okay.
I'm not gonna control you.
I like
You're not
that.
gonna control me.
I love
Because
that.
I mean, you can't control me.
Okay, right.
That's number one.
Right. And
But
listen, she would say the same thing.
I am willing to sit down and let's talk. Let's get this together.
Yeah. And that's what you're going to do. I'm just going to give you an idea, and then we're going to close, right?
Okay.
This is what you're going to do. As a result of this show, You're gonna
I want to say thank y'all for bringing me in.
Yeah, and we thank you for having you. You added tremendous
Bar
amounts of
Talks is
value
what
for
we
me,
do.
right? But I'm just gonna say something. I don't know how much value is gonna be, right? But as a result of you being here at this show, Bar Talk today, that I want you to go and do something uniquely special for her. Right? I don't care what it could be, some flowers, a candy, a card, or favorite music. It could be anything. I want you to go and do something unique for her. And when you hand her the gift, say, honey, you know what? I love you to death. And tomorrow night, not today, not right now, tomorrow night, I want you and I to sit down and have a long talk.
Word up.
All right?
Word up.
And then what's going to happen? In that 24-hour period of time, she's going to think about some things. After you give it to her and love up on her, I want you to just get solemnly quiet.
I'm good at that.
Right? Be that, right? Look, and all night long, I want you to look at her and just smile. Don't say nothing, just smile. What you smiling for? She going to think something has changed in you, because something has, right? And when you have the conversation, you might be able to get to that
But you know,
understanding.
I want to put one thing out. You know, sometimes it's a lot easier to talk to strangers that don't know you at all.
Right.
Because y'all don't know nothing about me.
Right.
I don't know nothing
You're not
about y'all.
vulnerable to each other, right?
But it's a lot of times it's a lot easier to talk to strangers.
Yeah.
To me, you get the best answers.
Yeah. You definitely get surface answers. But somebody who know you, calling
I'm gonna talk to them.
calling your bluff, right? Calling your bluff.
No, I'm talking to them.
But my whole thing is we want to inspire you. We want to inspire you because, again, we all been through things.
I mean, all y'all talking is positive.
Yeah.
And that's what we want to be. We
And
want you to be the same way.
There you go.
This is a negative world, but we're going to be a positive source. Then that's how we're going to change things. Bit by bit, touch by touch. And then this is what this show do.
There
and
you
when you
go.
don't have this, we have Minecraft. That we can change our minds in a small minute of listening. Because the biggest problem, we tend not to. That's our ego. We feel like we know more than we should. That's why the smartest person always reads. Sometimes you need to listen. And that's what we do also with Minecraft. So we need to listen up and understand we have to make that front of change. Instead of looking at somebody doing it
Somebody
for us.
else to make
Yes,
a change,
the
right?
Martin Luther
There
King,
you
the
go.
Malcolm X, they did theirs. Now it's our turn.
Inside of our home.
Inside our home,
This
within our mind.
has been Bar Talk with Jay. My name is Craftmatic. This is my boy Smooth
In
Jay.
the building.
We got DJ Too High tonight. Thank
Yes.
you for being with us, my friend.
Yes, sir.
And we want to thank you folks for being with us. This is just our opportunities to be leaders in our own community.
Yes.
And I think we did the word turmoil some justice tonight. Hopefully you got something meaningful out of it. Hopefully you made some decisions. You put some chinks in your armor so that you can be ready for the good fight of tomorrow. And we're here every Thursday from 7 to 8, Facebook Live. We're on every major platform. Please like, share, subscribe. Tell all your friends and family. And continue to come back and join us on this most meaningful Bar Talk with Jay. Never forget, folks, that we love you. We appreciate you. And with that, we are out.
Ain't no last calls here. Bar Talk with Jay.